Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Monday's Tier. And I've just realised we have no sound from the game. That's a bit strange. I'm going to investigate that. But welcome back, everyone. We are back once again for round 5, I believe, in Spain. Maybe we might get some sound coming on soon because everything's all switched on. So who knows? We will see. Ah, there we go. For some reason, going into the settings and coming back out again. Sorts of sound. I'm not going to start slating the game already. We're only a few seconds into the stream, so let's not go there. But we have a few changes tonight. So, Formation Lap is back. Thanks to Codemasters updating the game and sorting their issues out. Formation Lap will be back on the game, I believe. There is also a new rule, we're not allowed to do 360s on the grid, which I must say is a very disappointing rule, but, you know, to be fair, these cars aren't very good at doing that anyway. There's way too much traction, even with traction control off. So, but there we go. Yes, you also must stay in your position all the way going around the formation lap. No overtaking. So you've got to keep it in the same, and again, got to keep a constant speed. But yes, it's a few new additions, and the formation lap is back, which is always great to see. I believe the bump at the start of the pit lane is still there, but we'll see. That could catch a few people out. But we're gonna run through the standings first of all and see where we're all at, because I believe it is Chuckle leading the way in the Haas on 88 points. Very, very close behind, 85 points comes Josh McGill in the first Mercedes, and the second Mercedes of AJ in third, only 1 point behind him. Very, very close up top. 67.7 for Paul, and Ginge brings up the top 5 with 64 points. Very, very close indeed. And then Chuck, Looney Man, Matty Jones, Bugatti, and Royal Rumble round out the top 10. All very, very close on points, with Mercedes naturally leading the way, and the constructors there with a healthy margin over Haas, but not unsurmountable. 169 to 148, and Williams not far behind on 131. Ferrari in fourth, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, McLaren, Alpine, Red Bull, and Alfa Romeo bring up the rear, but only 2 points off of Red Bull, so all to play for even at the bottom of the field. As I say, we're back in Spain this evening. What a great track, and what a great layout on this game, and well, everything really. It is, yeah, just a great track, as we see creeps are going for a bit of a spin. Unfortunately, on this game, they've got the grip levels wildly wrong, and the inconsistencies is beyond belief, so it's probably one of my least favourite tracks ever now. But the actual layout is good, and hopefully promote a bit more racing, and will present a big challenge to all 20 drivers that we have racing this evening, which is a great turnout, might I add, for everyone, and lovely to see Matthew gets us underway straight away. But we're going to join Paul Jones Jr. actually in the Williams as he opens his DRS and starts his flying lap. Very difficult trade-off with aero balance on this track. It gains so much with high downforce, but gain a load of time on the straights with low downforce, as Chuckle now goes quickest. Through the first sector, Paul goes quick, basically chicane to begin with, and then flat out. Then Matthew has a 5-play squid penalty for a collision with Clay, so we don't know what's going on there. Very unusual, very odd. We'll have to see whether we get a lobby restart for that. Depends what has gone on. But back with Paul in the Williams as he flicks it into the left-hander. Really easy on this game. Last year's game was really twitchy. The car really unsettled under you through there, but a lot easier on this game. The car's so much more grip, especially on throttle, and then into the reprofiled corner of turn 11 maybe, who knows, we're going to call it 11 because why not. And then into the final sector, and rather than the awkward chicane, it is flat through the last two corners. One downshift for the last corner, especially in the race trim, but absolutely flat pretty much. And once again, the two Williams drivers very, very close together on track. Just to yet come out and set a lap. Very unusual for him. Normally comes out quite nice and early. Elegant and Gan. I'm just going to call him Elegant in the Red Bull. Looks like a new face. Haven't seen him race before, so great to see him. and looking forward to seeing what he can do in the Red Bull. Matty Jones is coming into the final 2 corners now. Stretched it up, misses the apex a bit, but manages to get away with it. And he's on to his flying lap. I thought he was coming to the end of a lap, but he's not. He is on an out lap, so watch Elegant in the Red Bull. Why not? As he goes through sector 1 into that quick flick left-hander, and then flat out, easy flat on this game into the right-hander onto the mini DRS straight. Could be an overtaking opportunity potentially in the race, but a really odd one, not that conspicuous as you'd imagine. But, once again, through the final 2 corners, the Red Bull goes, keeping it flat. Apparently he's in gear 1 round there, so amazing. P10 that gets him. Oh, that shot shows him in gear 8, so he has decided to get away from gear 1. I mean, he's probably losing a bit of time in gear 1 around the final corner, considering it's normally flat in 8th. But there we go. What a game. Aki's on a lap. Josh McGill has now come out to do a lap. Matty Jones does set a lap, and that's a 12.2. So good enough to see him into P6. I'm sure he's going to be reasonably happy with that. We'll watch Aki as possibly any person on lap at the moment. Oh, might have a Red Bull as well on the lap, I think. Through the middle sector he goes. DRS wide open, heavy on the brakes. Purple middle sector, allegedly, according to the game, but we all know that is a blip, and just, well, it's been a thing for ages, isn't it? We need to sort that out, amongst other things. Anyway, through the final 2 corners we go. Good line through the first one, a little bit wide on the second one, but he's okay. You want to go in earlier than you think on that one. And P8 for the Alfa Romeo. And that'll be a good result for him if he can stay there. Certainly. Mopar in the Red Bull up in P4, looking pretty handy indeed, and it definitely looks like he's pushing through the last couple of corners here. Let's see whether he can improve. His battery's depleted, it's running out, and it's good enough for P3. It sets him up 1 position, and look how close that is between him and Racing Matt. 0.06 of a second between the pair of them. And Matthew now on a flying lap in the Alfa Romeo. Looking to improve and see himself a bit higher up. We will see where Josh McGill is, because he'll be one to watch. Bugatti Sloven, wow, 11.594. Not a name I normally see at the top of the timing sheets. Fair play to him. That is a cracking lap indeed from the Ferrari driver. Here we go again. Missing the apex a bit, but it's all okay. Can he set the fastest time? He certainly can. 11.563 straight away to the top of the times. But we're going to watch Matthew because he is 3 and well, he's nearly 4 tenths up looking at that. So this could be a time that will trouble those two. Bugatti's reign at the top short-lived, but I'm sure he enjoyed it while he could. Through the final corner now and up to the line. It's only good enough for P3. It's so close though, so close. He's going to be a little disappointed with that. Chuckle on a lap as well, so we've got to keep an eye out for him. Oh, I'm just trying to watch Chuck there as Chuck crosses the line, but he actually crosses the line. 12.4, good enough for P10. And he's going to want to go again and try and improve on that one. Where is the other Chuckle? He's coming through there. Who else have we got on a lap at the moment? I think Royal Rumble. Oh, Royal Rumble has disqualified his lap. Who else have we got? One of the AJ. Is he on the lap? He is on the lap, but he's further back. Gotta keep an eye on where everyone is. Kingsolm is leading up. Clay's on a lap, I do believe. Any driver not to set a real competitive lap time, but there it is. 11.7, good enough for P4 as Racing Matt retires from the session. So that's an interesting one. Not sure what happened there. Chuckle did improve on his time, but not by much. It's good enough to see him into P4 as well. Kingsholm on a lap now. He's about to start his flying lap. They're all coming at me thick and fast now, trying to keep up with everyone. Elegant also about to start a flying lap. We've got Otto Street. Let's keep an eye on him. That's not a great line. That bump definitely looks like it's still there, judging by that. His teammate is on an out lap. We've also got, who is that? Is that Jim? Paul? No, Paul coming in. Every time I skip to somebody, honestly, man. I think that's Clay coming round. Yes, it is. Is Ginge on a lap? I think he'll be the next to cross the line. Keep an eye on who's next to cross the line. I think it's going to be Ginge at this point. It certainly is. Through the final corner, DRS opens. And it's good enough for a 12-0. Just jumps ahead of his teammate in P8. So we'll be looking to higher up the grid than that. AJ, was he on a lap? I can't remember. We'll have a look. He certainly was. Good enough for P12. 4/10 improvement. P11, sorry. Can't even count. Who'd knew it? Elegant coming around the final corner. P12 as Bugatti Sloven now gets a penalty for illegal blocking. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. What is this game? I think that was Prof that he was allegedly blocking. But Prof's on an outlap, which is laughable at its finest. What is this game doing? Unbelievable. The funny thing is, it can't even penalise you when you actually do block somebody. But yeah, far be it from me. See, Kingsholm on a lap. No, he's going slowly. His creeps are on a lap. Could be. Whoa, little twitch through there. He's using all the curb he can, and there. Nicely done from the Alpine, currently sitting bottom of the timesheets. Second off his teammate. He needs to find some time somewhere. Let's see if he can find it on this lap. He's not going to find it by doing that. Oof, another little switch. What did I say about this game? This trap being inconsistent with grip. It's so hard to master. And he doesn't actually find any time at all. Really struggling out there is Creepser. Gatti, a couple of tenths down in sector 1. That's not ideal for him. Not many people on track as qualifying is coming to a close. Don't ask me why it says Q1 at the top. I've just realised that. It should be SQ. A short qualifying, because it is not Q1. This is the only qualifying session we have this evening. Such lazy game making. As Bugatti goes through now into the final sector. Ferrari flashing, having used up most of his battery usage, and he's coming into the pits and abandoning that. What is Prof going to do? Because I believe he's on a flying lap. Across the line he comes, and it is an improvement. It will see him ahead of his teammate at 12.563. Good enough for P15. Bugatti has retired in the pits. He's given up the ghost, and he could actually get back out again. Creeps has given up the ghost as well. That's a very early retirement. But there we go. I'm not sure what Clay's doing. I thought he was going slow then. Seriously, somebody needs to shut this commentator guy up. He's doing my head in now. Looney Man goes onto a lap, so while everyone gets prepared, we see a dash of cars coming out now. They can come out quite late on the clock, given what a short track it is. Through sector 1, Looney Man goes. He's got a Haas ahead of him. I think that's Chuckle. be chat mind, actually. Let's be honest, nobody knows which one's which at this point. So I'll just call them what I want, and nobody will actually notice or pick up on it. I've got to be honest. I'm not sure even they notice sometimes. But anyway, back to the point. The Aston Martin goes through into the final sector now. Danny Wright, hoping my boy Mopar does good this week, and my teammate Royal Rumble. Well, see how they get on, shall we? Mopar's looking good up in P6, isn't he? So that's a good one. Royal Rumble needs to gain a few positions. Looney Man does now get back ahead of his teammate and jumps right up the order, 12.25. And that's P11 for him. As the clock is now counting down, we have a few people on track. Chuckles going on to his flying lap. He's going to be the first of the top runners to actually set his lap, so we'll keep riding with him. Try and keep an eye on everyone else. Clay's retired. Where's he retired? He's retired. No. I think he's crashed out, actually. But shouldn't affect these guys. Can still bomb it through a yellow flag on this game, thank goodness. Chuckle goes through. Let's see what his sector split is as he hits the end of the sector 2 split now. What's it going to be? It's a 10th up. It's purple to the middle. This is looking good from the Haas driver. And he's got a long way to go to get pole. There's still a few more corners left. Paul has crossed the line. He has not improved any further. Where is Chuckle? He's going to be next to cross the line. Then it will be his brother, I believe. Cross the line. What's he going to do? He does improve, but he's lost most of it in the last sector. There's Elegance gone off for a spin. Chuck crosses the line. What's he going to do? He goes P3. What a lap from him. It'll be Matthew up next. He goes pole. 11.512. Amazing stuff. Mopar now will be the next to set a lap. Will he improve? Will he displace Matthew? He's onto the grass. No, he won't. He will not improve. What's Josh McGill going to do? He'll be the next one to watch. And he's bailed. Josh McGill has bailed on his lap. Where's AJ? He's now coming across the line. That's very wide. Invalidated. That's annoying. It was slow in the end because I think he backed off. But Matty now crosses the line. And I think that is pretty much everyone done. So Chuck at the death steals it off of his brother. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself, having messed up that last sector. Matthew steals it off Josh McGill. Wow, what an ending to qualifying that was. That was some fast-paced stuff. But no surprise, Matthew absolutely sending it once again in qualifying. Utterly rapid. But, has to be said, his race pace on this game, much better. I know it's easier with less traction than that now, but credit where credit's due. His race pace is a lot more consistent and better than it was. So he is absolutely in contention for this race. But him and Bugatti have a 5-place grid penalty, so I'm not sure whether we're going to restart the lobby or not. I'm going to check into the chat and to find out. Nothing has been said as of yet. But look how close that is. Matthew gets pole from Josh McGill and Bugatti in third. But look at that. The top 4 covered by less than a 1/10 of a second. Absolutely incredible scenes. It really, really is. Incredible stuff. But it does look like 2 of the big... Oh, certainly Bugatti, the surprise there. Having put what a lap from him. Thoroughly deserved. He has said in the chat he's got a 5-place grid penalty. No admin has replied or said that we're doing a lobby restart. So, as of yet, I don't think we are. Seems a bit harsh, but yeah. This game is brutal and terrible. But I don't believe we're going to get a countdown, but that shouldn't matter too much because we are going to have a formation up, I believe. Because everyone chooses their strategy. What is the best strategy around Spain, you ask? Well, I don't know. There's the honest answer, because I'm so terrible around here. But there's a few different ones. I actually think soft to hard is probably the best, personally. But a lot of people are medium to hard. I think soft to medium is possible, but it's a bit of a stretch. But the tyre wear just doesn't seem to be as bad on this game. It's just a lot easier to make those softs last, really. So it is probably doable, especially in reverse. But there's a lot of different things. Hard to soft is best. That's what you reckon, Danny, and I wouldn't say I disagree with you on that one. I think, yeah. I think the hards are very good tyres on this game, on the whole, to be fair, and the softs are just... They're stupidly OP on low fuel. Like, stupidly OP in the race. They last forever in the fight if you run them as a final stint. Like, way longer than they should do. And they just maintain their pace for so long. They're not great on high fuel, but yeah, on low fuel. So, yeah, probably, yeah, correct me. Absolutely hard to soft. So it's going to be interesting to see what people choose. Are people going to be brave enough to put on a set of hards, at the start? Because you will lose a lot of time. I tried it around Belgium the other day and I lost way too much time, and I was catching back up to the lead again. But yeah, I think a lot of damage had been done. It just made a lot more hard work for ourselves, and it's the same around any track. You've really got to be confident in getting those hard tyres fired up and working, or be able to be towed along with DRS. As we wait for everyone to choose that, and also choose fuel as well. I think fuel's reasonably heavy around here. It is around most tracks, actually. You just burn fuel around every track, which is a little bit more consistent, I guess, than last game, but a bit skewed and strange nonetheless. So fueling up is a little bit more as we now get going for the formation lap, and away we go. Everyone needs as the oh dear, I don't know what to say. How has sorry about that. Paul Jones Jr. has a drive-through penalty for a jump start on a formation lap. What is this game? Oh, I hope that's just that. Please test how many it's like. We'll actually check tyres. But where's my penalty? There it is. Drive-through penalty. Paul Jones Jr. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh dear. I don't know what to say. Tyres. Josh McGill down to Clay. Top four all starting on mediums. Matthew's gone aggressive on the softs. Then a couple of medium runners. Bugatti's gone aggressive on the softs as well. So both two guys that qualified higher but got unfair penalties going aggressive on the softs. Paul has retired from the session. I think this is going to be a lobby restart. I do think so. I think that's probably where we're going here. There's been nothing yet. We're just going to have to pretend like this is the race, and if it's not, it's not. Ah, there we go. There we go. Everyone is quitting. So we are going to have, I'm pretty certain that we are going to have a restart. A bit strange we're doing it now and not as... We are going to get donuts from, was that Aki, I believe, at the back? Yes, Aki. You, sir, have a qualifying ban for next race for doing 360s on the grid, as we see. Please. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What is going on? I think Matty and Ginger have missed their grid spots by just a short way. It has to be said. The fact that it hasn't disqualified them for going that far past. Oh, there it goes. Going that far past the grid slot is truly laughable. Oh, hello. What's AJ doing over there? He's having a nice sit down. We will I think we will quit to back to the main menu. But, amazing stuff. Truly amazing. Time for some inappropriate gifs in chat. Stupid game. What do we do for weather? So, was there a bit of weather on the horizon, I wonder? If you are in the race and you're watching this stream, please let me know. So that's interesting, yes. I could not agree with you more, Josh McGill. This game is so... No, I can't say it on stream, can I? I've got to... Sure, there's something in my contract that says no swearing. So we've got to be a bit careful there. But absolutely right. AJ Baker says banter. Yeah, absolutely. No formation lap this time. I just have no words. No, absolutely no words. I have no words, honestly. If you're watching, please get your opinion in the chat. I'd love to hear it, but it's pretty pretty mega this game at times. Yeah. We're gonna go in chat. No formation. Yeah, no formation up. So we're not gonna get a formation up this time. Just awesome stuff. So there was quite a choice of tyre strategy, to be fair, going around. So that'll be an interesting one. Whether everyone sticks to the same tyre strategy they went with first time, or whether they've changed their mind. So, who's your money on? There. While we're doing this, who's your money on to win this race? If you're watching, let's see. Josh McGill was supposed to rain the last few laps. Oh, okay. So the admin is surely going to have to make it rain on the last few laps then to replicate that. It's only fair. Just saying. Anyway, that is interesting. My money's on the FIA. Well, Danny. Yeah. Thing is, like, Codemasters have probably replicated the FIA brilliantly in the sense that they are so obscured and random with their glitches and their errors, causing people's races to F up. That, yeah, it probably is like the real like FIA. You never know what you're going to get heading into each race or heading into each corner for that matter. Who knows what could happen? It could give you silly penalties. It could disqualify it. It could give you a drive-through for jump starting a formation lap. Who'd have thought that was the thing? Absolutely class. But yeah, I'm gonna question it. Will we see a red flag? We haven't seen a red flag. Is it even on? I'm sure it's on, isn't it? Surely. It's got to be on. Yes, red flag. 5-second pen for overtaking will be next. Yep. That's your sort of, it's your standard, really, isn't it? That was the thing back in what 2018 F1, and it's sort of now just the standard every game. You kind of expect it, like you expect them to do every single one of the F1 teams in the game. You expect them to give you unfair penalties for illegal overtakes on a car that's spun or off the track. You know, it's almost become like just a part of the game, part of the furniture, part of F1 life furniture, maybe. Who knows? We get a great view of an array of trainers at the bottom of the screen. Amazing, amazing stuff. Just what we want to look at while waiting for an F1 game to look. I need to stop. Just no. What are those red trainers? Who has those? The other three guys are copying each other. What? They've all got you. No, they're all using the same. But what were those red trainers? I have to say, this game is the game of all time. Oh, how right you are, Clay. How right you are. It truly is astonishing. I have no word, but just yeah. I run out of words to describe this game. It's just so yes. We don't need to say it. I honestly think they must have been drunk when they tested it. It's my theory. Like maybe they were all like high or drunk or something. Testing it going, yeah, this is fine. I don't see a problem. Red trainers and shorts. Oh, I did not notice the shorts. We can't get rid of. Oh yeah, there is. There is. You're right. It's a good spot that. Unlike 22, we used to be able to get rid of the driver list, so we could see the guys behind, which is kind of made the whole thing pointless. Now it's just, I mean, it's silly, isn't it? Really, what's the point in even having it there? You can't see anything. Would rather quite like to see his red shorts. I know. Oh, he might be Chuck actually, because Chuck has red shorts and he has a bit of camel toe going as well, as he has pointed out to me many, many times. As we ready up in the lobby. What has this stream come to? We're talking about red shorts and camel toe. Like, honest. Oh dear. Right, as we countdown goes, and we're nearly there. I know. This is what Cave Masters have done to me, Danny. It's just sending me loopy. I have to sit through this every week. And it just drives me insane. I can't deal with this anymore. Enough about me. We're having fun. That's the main thing. We're having fun. I think. So, no formation lap. Just a reminder to everyone. So we're going to go straight into the race. So we're going to sit there and wait for a countdown that we're never going to get. What a genius idea that was. As everyone once again chooses their first strategies. Put on a good race. I'm watching. It's well, it's Lee. I think something. I can't. Oh, it's Lee by the way. Oh, Lee. Oh, Lee Craig. Hello. Lee, how are we, Lee? I'm sure they will put on a good race if we get going. You never know. Oh dear. I messaged a couple of guys in another league I'm in, and they just said, "Don't worry, guys. Formations that's fixed. We can use it, but you just get a disqualification, or you get a drive-through for jump starting the formation lap instead." And the replies are golden. I can't read them out on stream because I am not meant to swear. Although I think I have done many times. You're on holiday, Danny. Where are you on holiday to? You in this country, or are you in a different country on holiday? Everyone loves a good holiday. I love going on holiday in this country, actually. I think I prefer going on holiday down in Cornwall than I do going abroad. Call me weird. I mean, except New Zealand. I go to New Zealand any day of the week. That's amazing. Just go live there. Wonder where the Codemasters operate out there. Because the further away from Codemasters games I get, the better. Thinking. Anyway, yes. Taking the nephew nieces to Somerset. Just got back from Spain. Whereabouts in Somerset, Danny, are you? Because I live in Somerset. I have done my whole life, so I need to know. You can, if you're close, you can stop by. I've got a couple of ciders for you. I actually am drinking a cider right now. Yeah, typical Somerset. Let's be honest. Yeah, you can stop by and join in on the stream for a laugh. But it's a nice place, Somerset. Actually, there are some there's some bad places, but there is some good places in Somerset to stay. I'm going to assume if you're on holiday and you're in Somerset, you're probably in Minehead and at Butlins, I would say. My hometown of Minehead, where I've lived for most of my life. Everyone comes there. When you're down Devon, it's a... Well, that's not Somerset. This is... Like, to be fair, Devon's actually really nice. There is some really, really nice places in Devon. Ilfracombe was a great place to go if you're in Devon. We'll thoroughly recommend that. Yeah, Barnstable was, but I'm not sure it's a great place to go if you know. Butlins, so my nephew and nieces can bankrupt me. Oh yeah, so you are in Minehead. Welcome to my hometown, Danny. I hope you enjoy it. It isn't much. It is small. It is quite good. And I also got to ask, how many times have you been to the Hairy Dog this week? Because it is just the pub to go to if you're on holiday at Butlins. Let's be fair. It's great. Yeah. Walk the strip of Minehead. It's great. I don't live there anymore, might I add. I have moved away for work. Only about 40 minutes away, but yeah. Right next to the sea. Great view of Wales. Because who doesn't want to look at Welsh people all day? Oh dear. Still wait on everyone readying up. Everyone's got to choose the setups. Hopefully nobody forgets their setup, because that would be rather embarrassing if they do. We've all done it at some point or another with a lobby restart, let's be honest. See if everyone sticks to the same tyre strategy. Here we go. We are getting ready to go. 5 lights. And a long pause, but away we go eventually. A little bit of wheel spin from the House of Chuck in P2. Josh McGill gets away nicely, and it's all as you were pretty much. Nobody got the jump on anybody else. The two Hasses pressurising Josh into turn 1. There's a McLaren of Clay nearly centred up the inside of Chuckle there, but managed to back out at the last minute. There's side by side Bugatti and Paul further back. Paul trying to go around the outside, trying to go the long way round. Can he make it to stick? Matty Jones is round. Matty Jones in the Ferrari round. Paul has made that move stick on his teammate Bugatti, so 2 Ferraris down in position each, and the opening up, and there's Ginge coming up the inside. He's gone up the inside of his teammate nearly. He sent it that far, but he's managed to get away with it, and now he'll be side by side with Bugatti, but he's going to have the inside line into the left-hander, and I think he's got the move made, and it's Williams 7 and 8 as we go. As let's get some details up. Position change. We're going to get all this enabled for you pretty much as you were with everyone. Ginge going up 1 position, so I think Paul may have lost a position on the start, but he gained that back. Creepster and Prof going side by side further back, and it looks like he's got the position, but now the Alpine goes round the outside of Aki. Can he make that one stick? No, he certainly can't, and that is Royal Rumble. Your man Royal Rumble has lost it, I'm afraid, Danny. Further back. Lol, it's expensive, Danny. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Welcome to my life, living here, honestly. Oh, Clay's gone down. Sent it down the inside of Chuckle. He's not holding back in the early stages. Chuckle now losing touch with his brother. Royal Rumble has retired from the session, and that is a VSC. I think he retired. No, did he retire in the pits? I think he retired in the pits, so I don't know where he was, but that's caused the VSC, so that will just calm things down a little bit for the first lap or so. Aki does have wing damage. That is why he was struggling and holding everyone up in that final sector. You obviously got that somewhere. It's a great opening lap for Creeps up 7 positions in the Alpine. Same with Kingsholm in the other McLaren. It was almost in an Alpine. What am I saying? Too much cider. Kingsholm up 5 positions in the McLaren. Great start from him as well. Bit of a gap between him and Creepster though. Aki holding everyone up in that sector of the field with that wing damage. Unfortunately, Chuckle really struggling to keep pace with his brother, but perhaps just going in a defensive mode. Or as we go back racing once again, Clay absolutely had to slam on the brakes at the last minute, but then gets going once again. And now it looks like Chuck is very close to the back of Josh McGill, and the slipstream is incredibly powerful here. Can he make a move into turn 1? He's going to make a look when he backs out of it. Clay's going to have a look around the outside of Chuckle, but can't make the move there either. Good defending from the Haas driver, and it's now a bit of a train with Matthew Mopar both getting involved in on this one. AJ and Prof now trading positions further back. AJ getting past Prof. So the Mercedes making up moves once again. AJ looking to get a bit higher as that's now confusing and annoying me. We have a big difference once again on the tyre strategies. Bugatti going on the mediums this time, so he's gone on different. Less people on the hards, I think, overall as well. Has to be said. But yeah, Chuck all over the back of Josh McGill, looking very pacey indeed in the early stages. Chuckle just about holding on to that 1 second window. Can he hold on to it? There will be DRS this time around. This is going to be a very important one for him. I don't think he's got it. I don't think he held on to that DRS. No, he did not. Josh McGill sits fastest lap of the race, but Chuck now, with DRS, is going to be on the attack. And to the inside he goes. It is so powerful. And into the lead, the Haas goes. That is a sentence you never thought any F1 fan would ever hear. But he certainly does it. And Josh McGill now pressurising the back of this Haas to see if he can make a move back into the lead. And all this squabbling could end up causing them issues and dropping them back into Chuckle, which they don't want. They want to work together to gap him. As Ginge and Mopar now having a bit of a squabble. Mopar having a look at Ginge, but Ginge holding the position nicely. Josh McGill, whoa, what a slide. Josh McGill holds on to the back of his car. How he has held on to that, I don't know, but that has allowed Chuckle into DRS range now. What a save from the Mercedes driver, especially given the fact he is on controller. He will get OP traction, but when it does go like that, it's very, very hard to hold. As Racing Mac gets past Bugatti Sloven. Bugatti Sloven with some excellent qualifying pace, but now, unfortunately, just dropping back in the race. AJ also, whoa, round the outside of Creepster. What a move from the Mercedes, and the Creepster has to back out of it, and it could leave him vulnerable. Yeah, as now Josh McGill gets back past Chuck in the meantime with DRS. I missed that one. Was so busy watching his teammate make a fantastic move around the outside in the third sector. That is things you love to see. Great stuff. Great racing. Chuckle still just about holding on, but in the back end of that is... Oh, Josh McGill, did he make a mistake then? He must have made a mistake, because Chuck has now gone past, and that's Creepster, who's gone round in the first sector. And dropping down to the back of the field he goes. There's Chuckle now really in this fight. He was struggling to hold on, but now he is well in the fight. Thanks to a couple of mistakes and a bit of squabbling from the top two. And that is very crucial for his race. The DRS so powerful on this game. It is absolutely everything in the race. You need to stay in DRS range. But speaking of which, I think this is going to be an easy pass for Josh McGill. DRS so powerful. And Chuck struggling, his battery light flashing. Josh McGill goes to the outside. He's not going to make it easy, is Chuck. Round the outside, the Mercedes goes side by side into turn 2 now. He squeezes the hats off, but there's just about enough room. And round the outside of turn 3, the Mercedes goes. What a move. Amazing stuff from these two boys. They are giving it everything between the two of them. Great stuff. As Elegant now gets past Bugatti. Bugatti dropping further back down the field. I'm wondering whether that Ferrari has damage. Doesn't look like it as far as I can see, but really struggling on race pace. For somebody that qualified in the top 3, he's really struggling at the moment. As it's now 2 Hasses against the Mercedes, with an Alfa Romeo and a McLaren following shortly. The 2 Williams further behind them, but 3 seconds down the road. Matthew in 4th in the Alfa Romeo on the soft tyres, just unable to make an impact on this race at the moment. So not working for him as he would have hoped, no doubt. And there's Ginge. What's happened to Ginge? He's dropped it round on the second to last corner. That's a very unusual place to go round. As Matthew gets... Whoa, Matthew gets past Chuckle. They're going to be side by side. And Matthew does manage to make a little bit of an impact now in the running order. But he really needs to get to the front as Josh McGill and Chuck still side by side now. Josh McGill's going to go around the outside. There's a bit of contact under the braking. But I think it's all okay, and Josh McGill will get the battered trash. And there's contact between the two of them. He comes across. Oh, what has happened there? Chuck's now gone back. Josh McGill's gone back. I think they've both got away with it without any major damage or anything. But he's dropped both of them to P4 and P5. And they're both going to be livid about that. What a shame. There was a bit of contact coming into the braking zone, the previous corner, and then on the exit. It was difficult to tell from the camera angle. The camera angle made it look like Josh McGill came across, but in all honesty, it is a left-hand turn. So it is really difficult to judge. It could have been either or a bit of both, potentially. Now Matthew leads this race, which is exactly what he wants, but he does not want to be the only one without DRS. And there it goes. He is the only one without DRS. But he manages to hold on for now, and this is now his opportunity to try and pull a bit of a gap as Elegant and Bugatti go side by side. And Elegant gets past the Ferrari. Red Bull and Ferrari fighting it out. Things you love to see. Matthew not able to break DRS, but so hard to do so. DRS being so powerful. And those softs will be past their best at this point. They'll still be good, they'll still be decent, but they are past their best. And that's really what Matthew wants. He wants those softs at their best at the moment. And he is pulling a bit of a gap, but it's never going to be enough with how OP DRS is. Especially around a track like this where you do run higher downforce. DRS just seems twice as powerful as it was before. A little bit of a wiggle there from Clay in the McLaren, but he's held on to it. Hasn't lost really any time at all there. As we go down the DRS straight once again. Matthew defending for all his life. Chuckle has a bit of battery flashing. So he's depleting energy. Bugatti now gets past. Elegant once again, so these guys playing a little bit of leapfrog in the last few laps. And Otto gets past Kingsholm as AJ now gets past Kingsholm. Wow. And Kingsholm nearly backing up into him. And Josh McGill has got past. Whoa, there's a big slide on the brakes from Clay, who's lost the back end and could well lose DRS here to this top pack, and the top 5 become a top 4. Can the McLaren catch back up? He's not far behind though, and he might even drag Mopar into it and make it a top 6 even. And don't forget, Paul Jones is not that far behind either, although he's being overtaken by Racing Matt with DRS, and Racing Matt gets through and then subsequently holds Paul up, who's now trying to go around the outside, and this is both going to cost them valuable time. Oh, that's a bit naughty. Racing Matt leaves Paul no room whatsoever on the outside and forces him straight off the track. But I think Paul's now going to get him straight back with DRS, so it was all to perhaps no avail. The straight line speed on that AlphaTauri looks pretty decent. To the outside and to the racing line, Paul goes. There's once more contact. Racing Matt coming across. Paul can't go anywhere there. And now Paul is repaying the favour. And he's still left room on the inside, but Racing Matt's round. And I have to say, that kind of was inevitable. It was always going to happen between those two. Just don't think Racing Matt was willing to give any room, so Paul just went, tell you what, I won't give you any room either. And you know, can't really argue with that too much. At the end of the day, yeah, you can see that coming a mile off. But there we go, back to the top few we go. That's now cost Paul a massive 3 seconds to Mopar. So he'll be a bit frustrated with that, no doubt. But he'll try and eat into that gap as much as he can. Through the last sector we go. Matthew still in the lead, still holding that lead. AJ gets past Otto, so AJ making a really nice recovery drive of this. And this looks like we're going to get a bit of a spicy 3 wide into turn 1, and Matthews absolutely swamped. There's contact, Josh McGill and Chuckle, and again hard to judge that one, to be fair. I don't know whether Josh McGill took a bit too much curb on the entry, or I think Chuckle left him space. Maybe he didn't realise Josh was there and just came across, but yeah, either way, as now AJ and Otto going side by side. Once again, AJ up the inside of the Alpine, and he's got that move made, and that's nice stuff. But the Alpine will try come back at him if he can round the outside. Mercedes will hold the inside line, and he will close the door off on the exit, and that's move made for the Mercedes on the hard tyres as well. So he's making good progress, and Racing Matt now up ahead. And Racing Matt, don't look behind, James. What are you doing looking behind? I want to look forward. There's a yellow flag through sector 2. Don't know what that was for exactly. I'm not sure, but we will go back to the lead because potentially Chuckle is trying to defend for Josh McGill. Josh McGill goes round the outside. Can he make that stick? He's going to be shown the curb, and there's a bit more contact as Otto now retires out the final corner, and that is a safety car. Lots of shoulders coming out, Danny. You are absolutely right there. That is now a safety car. Otto retires out the final corner. Looks like he hit the wall or something, and that has blown a big spanner in the works for these guys. But I'm pretty sure everyone is now going to go onto hard tyres till the end. I bet the ones on hards, will they risk going mediums to the end? It's going to be a very, very long stint for them, it has to be said. People pitting already at the back of the field. There you go. That's kind of thrown a spanner in the works, but at the same time I think it nullified this race a lot because it's taken away the strategy element hands down. But I'm going to go back to your point, Danny. Lots of shoulders coming out. Absolutely. There has been a lot of argy-bargy here. Most of it pretty good hard racing. There's been a few questionable moves, I won't lie. There has been a few moves gone in there that I thought, that's a bit dodgy. But stewards could be busier tonight. I do not envy them. As Ginge gets himself a time penalty for corner cutting in the pits. Amazing. Unreal. Bugatti stayed out, which for the life of me I cannot fathom. Oh, good shout. I did not notice that. Haas double stacked has screwed over Chuck. You are absolutely right, Danny. Good spot. It's a very good spot. Chuck has lost multiple positions there due to that. Everyone's gone on soft, so the rain is coming then. Oh, I forgot the rain is coming. That's a good point. So I'm guessing they're all banking on the rain, because otherwise that's why Bugatti's staying out. If there is rain coming. It looks way too bright for any rain coming. Oh, Dirty has backing the field up so it can double stack. Did they now? I didn't see that. I've got to be honest, I did not see that. I've had too many Somerset ciders, Danny. I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention to what I should be. That would be why. Well, I mean, Prof on the hards is fair point. Staying out long, he will prove a bit of a roadblock, no doubt, when they get going. Yeah, I can only imagine it's because of rain, because most of these guys have gone on softs, and to me that makes no sense at all. A set of medium surely would be the better option even, unless it's going to come in the next 5 laps, but yeah, I don't, no, I'm not sure on this one, but they obviously have more information than I do, so I can't judge too harshly. And it is difficult when you're sat in the cockpit as well. You don't have much time to react. It has to be said. So have I. Good man, Danny. Good man. Hope you're drinking proper Somerset cider, by the way. None of this upcountry north cider. That's not real cider. We drink proper cider down here. And we also sound like pirates. Go, "Ooh-ar. We're getting my tratter." And then down a bottle of cider. And that's pretty much how we live our lives down here. It is, you think of every stereotype of Somerset, which by the way, may be spelt with an S and an O, but is pronounced like it's a Z and a U. It's Somerset. Random useless information of the day over that nobody wanted it. Did you seriously come into the chat to talk about Somerset? Because I could go on all day, but we will get back to some racing, I promise. As Bugatti now will lead us away in the 99 Ferrari. Picked up a crate from Tor Cider Farm. Mate, I love Tor Cider Farm. It is so nice. So good there. It's such a great place. It's so quaint. Amazing. And they do good cider. Amazing. But back we go, racing once again. Bugatti goes across the line. He has not caught Chuckle napping, and he hasn't caught Josh McGill napping, who's got the run with the slipstream on Chuckle. We're going to go down into turn 1. I think the Haas manages to hold on the position. He goes at the inside of the Ferrari, goes defensive. Matthew goes at the inside of Prof, who now gets mugged by Clay, and there's going to be a second Haas of Chuck going down the outside on those fresh softs, and look at that grip he's got on those softs. Prof down 4 places. Chuckle and Josh McGill now make a mockery of Bugatti's mediums and through into P1 and P2 they go. Chuckle down the inside of Josh McGill, and they're going to be side by side. We had a Haas and a Mercedes side by side here earlier on, and it ended in disaster, but this time they both get away with it through the left hand kink, and that is not a place you want to go side by side. They're still side by side. Unbelievable stuff. The Mercedes now noses ahead ever so slightly. Matthew gets a run on Bugatti further back. Clay then gets through. Chuckle now goes at the inside of Josh McGill, and Josh McGill runs really wide, and that allows the door of Matthew to come through, and he's not going to leave that much room on the inside, but just enough. Josh McGill gets on the curb, gets out of shape, has to slot back in to P3 now. Clay is all over the back of him. What a restart lap this has been. Unbelievable stuff. Chuckle is on the hard compounded tyres. Everyone else on the soft. Amazing stuff from these guys, and fair play to Chuckle on those hards. He's given a go of what for. And now Matthew goes up the inside of Chuckle and through into the lead on the softs. What a restart for Matthew as well. Now Josh McGill will try and go around the outside of the house on the soft. Can he make that move? No, he cannot, but he is still there, just about. Clay now wants in on the action. He's like, I've seen you guys battling. I want in on this. Amazing stuff, amazing. And now Chuck is in on the action too, and also Mopar in the background. Kingzone and AJ side by side now. Ginge also gets past Prof. Prof has been pretty much a sitting duck on those old hards. He's gone down to 11th, so it really hasn't worked for him. And now AJ's going to make a move on him any moment, I imagine, looking at this. I'm going to take a breath as AJ sends it round the outside of Prof. Great move from AJ. What a recovery from him. Whew. Back to the lead we go. Crazy, crazy stuff as we get the sound glitch coming in to full effect. Thank you, Codemasters, for that. That was very wide from Chuckle. Looked like it could have been track limits. Fastest lap for Matthew. No surprise on the softs. He is now pushing. Josh McGill will get the slipstream on Chuckle, and he's going to go to the inside, and I think he's probably going to have this move made. And he certainly does. Chuckle's not going to let him get away with it that easy, though. And I must admit, at this point in time, I think Chuckle's made the right decision. As Clay decides to get in on the action, go around the outside. But there's no room for him there. Is he going to send it on the inside? I thought he was for a minute then. And Paul gets past Bugatti. Now, Bugatti really struggling on those old mediums. Even Paul on the brand new softs has got past Elegant, doing very well on brand new hards. Just behind his teammate now. So Matthew gets steals a bit of a march on Josh McGill. DRS will bring Josh back into that though. Ginge now has his turn on the Ferrari. And round the outside he goes. Prof. Oh, Looney Man and Aki going side by side. Prof now absolutely at the back of the field. It really hasn't paid dividends for him. Josh McGill now fastest lap of the race. He is on fire trying to catch up with Matthew. Chuckle manages to hold to the position with Clay, who goes way too deep into turn one. Mopar and Chuck now side by side. Mopar makes a move on Chuck, but Chuck gets the move back on the Red Bull. Some great racing from these guys. Josh McGill now all over the back of Matthew, and these guys have stolen a march in purple sector 1 for Josh McGill once again. He is looking like a man on a mission here. He wants to make a move. I think they know there's some rain coming, but maybe not as soon as they can. And look at the sky. It is getting darker and cloudier. It's coming. Will it come before the end of the race? It's gonna. This is a tense one. This absolutely is a tense one. Chuckle just out of DRS range at the moment. He's just dropped out of that, and I think that could leave him incredibly vulnerable down the start-finish straight, given how powerful DRS is. Aki and Kingsholm, whoa, side by side. Aki giving a little bit of a barge to Kingsholm, which allows Looney Man now to get the inside of the McLaren. They're going to go side by side into a flat-out right-hander. Oh, creeps her now. Do not go at the inside of that corner. It is flat out. You do not want to be there. But he backs out at the last minute, and sensibly so. Racing Matt then gets the run on him. Ginge now gets past AJ on the softs, AJ on the mediums. Great stuff. Josh McGill's got past Matthew. We did miss that. We were too busy watching the great battling further back. But imagine it was a pretty easy DRS pass, though. So I don't think we missed too much. But Matthew now chasing Josh McGill. And these two battled it out last week at Belgium. I remember I was trying to chase them both down. And they were having an epic old ding-dong between the two of them. And now here they are at it again. Looking like they're going to be rivals for a little while. Creeps gets himself a time penalty for track limits. Clay did get past Chuckle as well, which 1.4 seconds behind, so they're going to be out of DRS. It'll be interesting to see if Chuckle can ever go back at Clay here. But we are going to see with the top two for now, as they are looking to pull a gap on the rest of the pack. Chasing pack, and DRS wide open for Matthew. And look at this. He's going to go to the inside. Josh McGill is not going to defend that. There's nothing you can do. Chuckle now to the inside of Clay, and he's got the move made as well. He goes a bit too deep on the brakes, but he's just about got that stuck. Now gets past Mopar as well, so these two carrying on their little rival in this race. Clay now, it wants the inside line into the next corner, and this is costing them big time because they are costing themselves huge chunks of time with each corner to the top two. If they want to get back in DRS range, this is not doing them any favours. But through Clay goes once again. Is that rain or is it just sweat on their visor? Oh my god, Danny, you crack me up so much. That is class. Because it's at Spain as well. It was Spain, wasn't it? George said that, I think. Is that rain or are you just happy to see me? It's certainly getting that way with the rain, isn't it? The clouds are coming over, but it's not happening yet. There is a little way to go now before the rain comes in. And Josh McGill will get DRS. He's only 2/10 by Matthew, so I imagine with the rate the DRS is powerful by, he'll be about 6/10 clear of him by turn 1. As Chuckle now gets past Clay. Paul chasing down Elegant in the second Red Bull, both on hard tyres. Everyone else on soft, really gambling on this rain. It's an interesting one. Chuckle has actually caught the top two just a little bit. Squabble in the first couple of turns did cost him. It's quite interesting to note. Or the soft tyres going off and the hard tyres getting a bit better, because Chuckle is certainly holding that gap to Clay a little bit better now. He certainly, you know, Clay was all over the back of him, pushing him through the corners, but now look, Chuckle is holding that gap better, and look, he is catching ever so slightly the guys in front of him. He is catching them. He's catching them quite a bit through that sector. I mean, that's the sector where your tyres are overheated at that point. They really are hot, so that's where the hards will start to gain the most time. Matthew now, DRS on Josh McGill. Through he goes. And Chuckle drops behind, given the ridiculous DRS potency. Paul gets past Elegant into turn 1. And up to P7, the Williams goes. Matty and AJ side by side. Matty ran the outside of AJ. AJ's trying to hold it around the outside of turn 3, but can't make that work. And that looked like it was a load of rain. That looked like it was the glitch when rain is about to start. There it is. Rain is here. But how quickly is it going to come down? Because look, the hard tyres are getting quicker here. And if the rain holds up for a few laps, those on hards are going to be loving life, because the soft runners are going to have to come in too early. But if it starts raining heavy now, the soft runners are laughing. And to be fair, the soft runners will find temperature on the tyres better at this stage as well, given that. So, bit of an interesting one. Matthew a little bit further ahead of Josh McGill than he had been on previous laps. I think he wants to track position here, ready for the transition to inters. Clay goes for a move on Chuckle into turn 1. He's going to see them lose a little bit of time. They're squabbling. Clay goes through. A little bit of a wiggle from Chuckle, and he has to give the position up. Might be under threat for his brother here, but I think he's got it covered. And these two aren't going to want to hold each other up. And they're going to want to be ahead of each other, because if they pit for inters soon, they're going to double stack here. And there's some people going on to inters, and I got to say, I think that's too early. I think that is too early. I mean, Bugatti's just pitted and gone on soft. I think that's just as daft. It is way, way too early for inters, I'm afraid. It's got to rain a lot heavier for that. Through they go once again. He was going to bite the bullet. They're not falling for it. It is way too early for the inters. Does look like it's definitely gonna be Inter's weather before the end. Josh McGill goes up the inside now. Matthew holds it around the outside. He's not giving that one up without a fight, and back into P1 he goes. Great stuff from both of these guys. Very respectful racing. And Ginge, AJ and Aki all in the pits. They think it's time for the Inters, but I think they're wrong. I do think they're wrong. This is tense stuff. Very, very tense stuff to the end of this race. I dare not look away. Chuckle struggling to hold on. I think the temperature of the hard tyres are now coming into effect. Kingzone has gone for no, he hasn't. Racing Matt's gone for a bit of a spin on the Inters. I think that's proof that it's just too early. They're just overheating. As he gets out the way of Prof, who comes through, also on a set of Inters, but Prof gets an illegal overtake because this game is amazing. Who's in the pits? Mopar in the pits. As yeah. Oh, Matthew as well in the pits. No, he isn't. No, he's not in the pits. Matthew made a mistake. What happened there? He was leading. I too busy focusing on the back of the field, and I completely missed. Matthew has made an error, which has cost him multiple positions. I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself for that. Mopar's in, yeah, for Inters. Again, just too early. It's still dry weather tyre. I'm sure of it. Chuckle's got up to the back of Clay quite comfortably at the moment now. So soft tyres must be going off. 12 laps on them. They've got to be screaming for mercy at this point. We will try and keep an eye on the deltas at the moment. Mopar is catching Looney Man though, having said that, but he was, I mean, kind of what you expect because he was quicker. Bugatti's gone round. Racing Matt has retired in the pits. He's given up the ghost, which seems a bit daft considering there is all to play for with the rain coming. So there we go. In the pits, Chuckle, he's calling it. He is calling it, and it's definitely getting there. It is getting there, but it's so slowly. Matthew's in as well. Will this be the call of their life? Or will it be an absolutely unmitigated disaster? Mopar goes through. And I tell you what, Mopar's undercut them. And that means I was wrong. If Mopar has undercut these guys, that means the Inters are quicker. Let's check gap to leader 24/7. We'll keep an eye on that gap for Mopar. See if it goes down at all. At the moment it was going up, but there you go. There it starts coming down. So maybe it is time for Inters. The track it is definitely getting absolutely on the limit at this point. And I think I think it's worse than it looks for me here, because it looks like it's still just drives, but maybe just about Inters, given the way this game works. But it is definitely Inters now. They are 100% quicker. And Mopar could be in an amazing position. I said he was an idiot. Well, I didn't actually. I just thought he was making a big mistake as Kingsholm. Kingsholm's rounding in the barrier and he's stuck. He is beached. Could that cause a safety car or anything? We'll have to keep an eye on this. Where is Chuckle and Mopar going to come out in relation to Josh McGill? Josh McGill's coming out of the pits now. Josh McGill's kept an overcut on these guys. Wow. What an in-lap from Josh McGill. What an in-lap. That is fantastic stuff. He's got an overcut on these guys and held the lead. Great stuff from him, and that could be a race-winning thing. Kingsholm is still stuck. There's only a yellow flag. I think he needs to reset to track, to be honest, because he's tried in vain. As Chuckle and Mopar side by side. Chuckle goes at the inside of Mopar. Great stuff from the Haas. He's cleared him now. And now Clay wants to go. Kingston gets disqualified. I think that is harsh as hell. That is really, really harsh. I think he just should have reset, I'll be honest. There's through they go. Clay all over the back of Mopar now, but can't find anywhere to make a move. It is absolutely Inter's time. If you are not on Inter's, what are you doing? I'm looking at you, Bugatti. As we get the massive sound glitch, which is it's just awful. Come on, sort it out, Codemaster, sort it out. Clay has a run on Mopar now. And up the inside he goes at turn 1. Great camera view. We can really see what's going on, but he has the move, mate. And Mopar has to settle for 4th. Undercut serving him well, but he has dropped back a couple of positions now. And now we'll have Matthew all over his tail as well. Chuckle trying to close the gap to Josh McGill, but Josh McGill just creeping that gap out in the wet. And I think this race is his as long as he keeps it neat and tidy and makes no mistakes. His main challenger, Matthew, dropping it at a crucial time. And yeah, oh, seriously, go away. That's going to give me a headache, that sound. It really is poor. DRS is still enabled though, which is interesting. Josh McGill now really extending his lead. Absolutely. Just that much quicker in the wet. But yeah, interesting. DRS is still enabled. That is a very, very interesting thing indeed, because that looks too wet for DRS. But I mean, yeah, fair enough. Clay gets past Chuckle with a great camera angle once again. We're going to go 3 wide further back. Matthew at the inside of Mopar. Can he make the move? He certainly does. Swoops around the outside. Now Chuck wants to go in on the action. He goes up the inside and might have a go at Matthew here, you know. Is he going to have a go? No, I think he backs out of it. That's sensible racing from the Haas. And, do you know what? If I was Chuckle or Mopar, I'd be fuming. DRS now disabled. Just been overtaken with DRS in wet conditions, and now it gets disabled. I would be fuming if I was on. But having said that, Chuckle's struggling to keep up with Clay at the moment. Extra grip you get in the wet on controller, seemingly showing dividends. With Josh McGill streaking clear in the lead at the moment. And great stuff from him. Chuck very, very close to the back of Matthew, looking very threatening. Matthew struggling a bit more in the rain, has to be said at the moment, dropping back a second or so. But yeah, Chuck a bit disappointed. I'm sure DRS isn't enabled, because he would have had a good run there on the Alfa Romeo. Chuckle struggling to keep up with Clay, who's... I mean, Clay and Josh McGill just pulled about 2 seconds on Chuckle in that last lap. And Chuckle is no slouch in the wet. Side by side, Chuck round the outside of Matthew in the hairpin. What a move! But he hasn't quite made it stick. But great effort and great racing from the pair of them. Bugatti decides to pit for Inters, and Creeps has decided to pit for softs. I have to say, is one of the all-time most interesting decisions, has to be said. Oh, Chuck at the inside of Matthew now, and Matthew's run very, very wide there. That allows Chuck through into P4 now. So 3 and 3rd and 4th for Haas. Creeps retires, and that is, I believe, in. It's not in the pits. It's I think he's crashed into the pit lane. I've got to be honest. I think he's crashed in the pit lane. Clay definitely catching Josh as well, interestingly. So Clay suddenly finding an extra set of legs in the rain. I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh, that's a big slide there into the corner from the McLaren, and that's going to drop him a big chunk of time. Must be said, as everything's dying out a bit now. We're lap 31 of 33. What a race this has been. We've had some pretty epic racing. We've had a bit of elbows out and a bit of drama as well. And things you love to see. I'm sure the stewards are going to be extremely busy at the end of this one, when all is said and done. We're getting very close. The rain is getting heavier, I think. It's well, it certainly has done for the last couple of laps. I don't think it's going to get any heavier that we're going to need to pit again or anything, but certainly there or thereabouts. Chuck has a run of chuckle. I tell you what, here in the slipstream, is he going to be close enough into turn one? He has a little look, but decides to back out. He's going to have one more chance all the way down that straight. He's going to go around the outside of his brother here. Chuck really has the pace in the wet conditions here, seemingly finding a bit more grip than his brother. So that's battle for the final spot on the podium. If I know Chuckle, he will not want to give this up. But if I know Chuck as well, he will want to find a way past. And let's keep an eye out on these guys as we go through. Clay's caught a second to Josh McGill, so considering Josh McGill is dropping these guys by a second, Clay is suddenly a second quicker than him. What I don't know. There's some strange things going on, and I don't know whether my Delta is lying to me or what, but that just, to me, you don't suddenly get 2 seconds quicker in the wet. I mean, I'm quick at wet weather driving myself, but I don't get that much quicker. Hamilton Rosberg Haas version incoming. Amazing. Yes. Probably will do, won't we? On to the final lap. Clay does have Josh in sight. A mega pace he's got. Chuck also has his brother in sight. And he is in the slipstream. Chuck will go defensive on this one. Can't make the move. He's just not close enough though. DRS enabled, remember. It is disabled. I think Chuck's going to have to give up and go for fourth at the moment. He's all over his brother and definitely got the pace on him at the moment. But just finding a way past is the difficult part. He's pushing the Haas, the first Haas along. Leading man and AJ. Is that AJ? AJ's gone round. Unfortunately, AJ is round at turn one and he's dropping a couple of positions. Fortunately ghosted there, but we will watch with the two Haas boys. They're very, very close, but we're going to go back to the race leader, Josh McGill, as he comes round the final couple of corners now. We have an Aston Martin round. I think that's Prof, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Josh McGill will take the victory in Spain. Clay drops back weirdly, but he will be 3.5 seconds. He will finish second place. Chuckle will finish on the podium, and his brother Chuck behind. Matthew rounds out the top 5. What a race that was. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. And I've just checked the chat. Yeah, Otto says pit bump. Yeah, so I think he got caught out by it. I don't think Clay's... I think Clay's a reserve, isn't he? Yes, Clay is a reserve, so technically speaking, Chuck gets the podium. I'm going to tag those three, Chuck, and Josh. Try and get them in for an interview, hopefully. But what a race. What a race we had. That was some pretty crazy stuff. And the rain certainly spiced things up a bit. As we said, driver of the day, Elegant, And gang, we haven't really discussed driver of the day. Completely forgotten about it. I don't really know who to give driver of the day. I'd have to look at position changes as well. There's a few great drives from people. Yeah. 14th to 7th for Elegant. And in his first race, I mean, yeah, okay. I'm going to go with the game. I can't look past that, to be honest. There's a few good drives in there, but yeah, Elegant. That's great stuff from him. Great stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Driver of the day. But Josh McGill takes the victory and fastest lap as well to boot. Clay will come home in P2. Chuckle will come home P3. But Chuck really gets the podium, even though he's fourth, because Clay is a reserve. Matthew in fifth. Mopar sixth. Elegant in seventh. Paul in eighth. And Matty ninth. Ginge rounds out the top 10. And we have the first of our podium runners and our race winner, Josh McGill, joining us now. Before you speak, just make sure that your settings allow your voice to be shared, Josh.
They are. I checked it this week.
Happy days. I did watch the interview from last week, and it was a great load of silence from you.
I know, I said a lot as well. I was gutted. I couldn't even remember what I said in the end.
that is the problem. But while we wait for everyone to join, congratulations. What a race from you this evening. How do you feel?
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, it was a bit of a tough one tonight, to be honest. I think there was probably 4 geezers, I'd say, that were probably faster than me at least. So, yeah, I think I got a bit lucky with the rain. I know you mentioned it on stream, but pad this year just seems a joke in the wet. So, the pace difference is just mental. How you just gain like seconds on other people.
Yeah, you certainly seem to up your pace when it came to the wet conditions, and I didn't see what happened to Matthew just before it came to the rain. I don't know whether he made a mistake or anything, but I bet you were a bit relieved to see him drop behind a few positions.
Yeah, 100%. He was miles quicker than me tonight. I think he hit that pit bump. I think that's where it was, that awful bump. I didn't even know about it until Chuckle put it in the chat earlier.
Oh,
yes,
is
yes,
that what
he
he did? That would be why then. Didn't see what actually happened to him, but you also had it coming together, Josh, with one of our other podium sitters, Chuck, I believe it was, a bit earlier in the race. Talk us through what happened there, just to spice up a bit of controversy here.
That was a weird one, to be honest. I think it was one of them where you go into a kink with someone and they're like holding the position, and I was on the edge of the track, but because it kinks, you just kind of come into each other. It was a weird one. That was how I saw it. It was a strange one, but that's what I think it was.
We've got a Haas taking the blame here.
Yeah, I was at side of him and I thought I didn't want to go into the next corner with him, so I tried tucking in and I just clipped your back wheel, so apologies for that.
It's alright, mate. I've done that many a time.
That'll be right. Yeah,
it's easy to do.
The camera angle we had on stream, it looked like Josh came across, but then it is a left-hand kink, so you're always going to. But it was so hard to tell from the angle that I did have. But all is good in the end, and I take it neither of you got any damage from it either.
No, I didn't know.
No, that's fine.
So that's the main thing. But on to our second place finisher of the day, Chuckle. He had a bit of a topsy-turvy race at times. Up fighting for the first and then back down to fourth and sort of up and down. You'll be pleased to go away with second in that, I bet.
I will, yes. To be fair, I made a massive mistake. I forgot about rain at end, and I put on ads.
I was wondering when you went on hard.
Everyone around me went softs, and I was just like, oh, massive mistake. But I was pretty happy with my pace on them, to be fair. I managed to keep it P4 behind Clay.
Yeah, you were pretty punchy in the opening couple of laps with them.
Yeah, I had to be.
You fired them up quite nicely, which is probably the most difficult thing to do on the hards. After a couple of laps, they're not too bad, but the first lap or two is always the hardest bit.
One of my strong points, though, that even at last game, I could just fire my tyres up instantly.
It's just too aggressive on your tyres.
Yeah.
That's it. But how did you find it in the rain? You ended up just dropping back from Clay and Josh there. So obviously struggling to keep up.
I struggled with the pace in rain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Josh or Clay put on a wet setup for end, but I struggled, mate, rain tonight.
Yeah, I think Clay was. Well, I think Josh was dropping you guys by about a second a lap, and Clay was dropping you by about 2 seconds a lap, and catching Josh by a second a lap. So there was some pretty obscene pace there.
Mopar undercut me as well on Inters, going on to Inters. I was a bit concerned about that.
Yes, I must
Thought if
admit,
I don't get past here, this could be it.
I called it all wrong on stream because I did not think it was ready for the Inters, but Mopar proved me wrong.
Yeah, I
And
didn't think it was, to be fair.
Nah.
DRS was still active for about 4 laps after that.
Yeah, it was still active when you were all on Inters as well, which
Yeah.
spiced things up a little bit.
Clay
Speaking
got past me on DRS straight, and then DRS got disabled. I was like, oh no.
Speaking of which, I think our third podium sitter, fourth on the road, but obviously third after reserves. Chuck, you had a similar incident where I believe somebody overtook you and then DRS got disabled. But a podium, a good result for you, even with a double stack early on. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm happy with the podium. Yeah, after, like I say, a double stack cost me a position or two, but as soon as it got wet, I'm not gonna lie, I was quite pacey. I got caught chuck up quite quick.
Yeah, I was seeing your pace in the dry and in the wet on those last few laps, all over your brother there. Weren't tempted to send it at a few corners.
I might have been once or twice, but I thought I better not. He's above me in standing, so I better not.
There was no team orders though. He was going for it.
Yeah, I think I did say if I know Chuckle here, he will not let this position go. But if I know Chuck, he's going to want to send it.
You know us too well.
Yeah,
If you'd have made a mistake, I might have gone past. We'll leave it at that.
yeah. Slipstream just wasn't quite powerful enough in the end.
People
Yeah,
are running similar setups, so there's not much gain down straights really,
that's it.
especially
And
when it's wet.
a question on the back of what Chuckle mentioned earlier about wet weather setups. Were you all running? This is a question to all three of you. We'll start off with Josh and go to Chuckle and Chuck after. But were you all running dry setups, or did you run a little bit of a wet setup, or did you do sort of mix and match of a bit of both? Josh.
I was full dry for me, so completely dry. I think that was just pad advantage, to be honest, in the wet. And I was fully listening to you the whole time, Marcus, about staying out on the softs. And then when I saw that guy on Inters undercut everyone, I absolutely bricked it and dived into the pits because I was listening to you the whole time going, it's too dry, and I was agreeing with you as well.
A good lesson in not always listen to me.
Definitely.
I like to think I'm right, but I'm not always right, and I will happily admit I was definitely wrong there. But on to you, Chuckle. What was your setup?
Yeah, I were full dry as well. Full dry, yeah.
And
I
I'm
tried
presuming
making it pay off at beginning and hope everyone would adjust the setups for end. Try gap a few peeps before rain come, but it didn't really work.
and same for you as well there, Chuck.
Yeah, I was completely dry, but before I went in for Inters, I raised my front wing 2 clicks. So I think that helped me a lot.
Yeah, you certainly seem to get the front end turned in the wet on the last thing. But we're another race down. We're pretty much, I think, are we halfway? We're not quite halfway through the season, are we yet? We're certainly getting there.
Yeah, I think this was race 5, yeah.
I think you were 3 points behind Josh Chuckle going into this race, so you're going to be a few points behind. Chuck, you're trying to catch up, and you probably made a bit of inroads on the 2 Williams, but this is turning out to be a hell of a
start to the season.
yeah, this is turning out to be a hell of a championship battle between you, Chuckle, and also you, Josh. Who's going to win it? Who's feeling most confident?
All over it. No, not me. Not on this game.
Are you feeling confident, Josh? You think you can
I
overhaul
would,
them?
but I'm missing the next 2 weeks, so I'm not so sure. I'm on holidays, so that's why I've gone hard start of the season. I'm trying to just get a bit of a lead to try and stay in it towards the end.
You could still be fighting for it, and
Does that mean
I
you're
hope
going to
so.
give
It's
me a
going to be
chance
tough.
on Wednesdays as well?
It is, yeah. Missing 2 weeks on Wednesdays,
Thank
so
goodness for that, because I need it.
scarred, Marcus, scarred.
Well, I'm getting fed up with my runner P2, so I just sort of bottle it last race. But anyway, yeah, but no. To be fair, like I know you do. You know, you admit it as much as us with the OP advantage on pad and the traction, but you know, it has to be said, Josh, your pace on this game nonetheless
Yeah,
is
it's
insane, and
I'll
hats off to
second
you.
still
that.
got to go
Yeah.
around the track, mate. So fair play.
Absolutely.
No,
I'll
cheers,
second
lads. I
that.
appreciate
Your
it.
And not
pace
just
and
that,
your
but
battling's second to none.
and it's making the right call at the right times. And I think where Chuckle says about your battling as well, you as you well know with our battles, you're absolutely on the limit and maybe a little beyond, but it's
Yeah.
perfectly fair, and it just makes it that much more competitive and spicy. So hats off to you.
Oh, thank you, lads. I appreciate that. Yeah. No, the racing's just been
problem.
quality this season, though, I have to say. I feel like everyone's just been very respectful on the limit. It's been good fun this year.
That's one thing we strive for. Road
It's
to glory.
It certainly has, and we can't end the stream without an honourable mention to Paul, who is the first driver in RTG history to get a drive-through penalty for jump starting a formation lap. Which,
Oh wow.
I'm going to watch the stream
Hats
back
off to
because
you, Paul, for that.
I think I went
I need
speechless for the next minute,
to
having
send
no
him a
idea what to
trophy.
say. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, special mention to Paul for that. And driver of the day, Elegant in the Red Bull. I believe, is he new to RTG? I haven't seen his name before, but
Yes, I think he was new last week.
I think he halved his
From
grid
last week,
position
yeah.
from 14th to 7th, and a
Fair
great drive
play.
from him. So driver of the day to him. But everyone else watching at home, thank you for joining in, especially you, Danny, as well, joining in with your West Country cider. I hope you enjoy your stay down in sunny old Minehead. I can say that because I know it's not sunny. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you all guys on the podium. Well done, great race from you. And until next week, we will see you then. Bye bye.